Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the mega revision series for NABARD Grade A 2021. Hi Nilesh, good evening. So yeah, let's wait for more people to join. Until then, as I say in every lecture, before every lecture, as we said in announcement session also, it is that it is a revision series, and that is why in these sessions we won't be explaining much of the topics that we have MCQs on, right? Our main focus of this series is to have a quick revision of all the important questions that can come in your examination. And how do we say that these are important questions? Because these all the questions they have been made by thoroughly analyzing the previous year question papers. And yes, one more thing, that this is the last lecture of the series. Today we'll complete 200 questions just of ARD static. Okay. So hi Anshu, hi, I'm good, how are you? Hi Shreya, hi Millie, good evening. Hi Gaurav, hi Emmanuel. Okay, so yes, as we always say to our new audience, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to get the PDF of this particular lecture, of every lecture that we provide on YouTube, and all the free study material you can get from our Telegram channel, the link to which is given in the description box. And if you like this particular series, and if you think that this way of learning is better to learn from the MCQs, we have come up with a comprehensive MCQ course. In this we'll have 300 MCQs, including both ARD and ESI, and it will have all the government schemes, reports, agriculture related questions, rural development and current affairs. Okay. And to avail this offer, you have to use the code welcome20. So to know more about this course, or if you want to purchase it, the link is given in the description box, so do check it. Alright, so now let's come to question number 1 of our 10th lecture of ARD static series, which says test weight of small sized crop is. So there are following options and you have to check. Okay. Hari will have marathon session super soon, so stay connected. Good evening Pooja. Yeah, so the correct answer to this question is question number 2, that is weight of 1000 seeds. Now first of all, before understanding what crop have what test weight and whatsoever, first let us understand what is a test weight, right? So test weight, because grains, they are quite small in size, right? So we cannot weight them individually. That is why we weight them in bulk. That is the simple meaning of test weight. So in case, I'll tell you why it is done so. Okay, let me just complete. So in this particular, depending on the type of crop and the size of crop, we can take either weight of 1000 seeds. When we take the weight of 1000 seeds, then it is known as test weight. But when we take the weight only weight of 100 seeds, then it is called seed index. Now what is this test weight? Why do we take so? It is because to know about the what is the physical condition or physical purity, or what is the quality of seed. Okay, for example, at home, if you have ever cooked, or even not cooked, if you have ever observed someone that if they mix grains with water, some of them they float upward, right, while other they rest beneath the water level. And our mother or father or any family member, they usually say that remove this upper portion, whatever grains they are at the upper portion, because they are not of good quality, they are not good to consume, right? So why they are so that lightness of the weight, that is what is checked by this test weight. So for example, here the test weight of rice is given, that is 25 gram. So if the seller, he would first check what he would take at random, he would take 1000 seeds, and then he'll check the weight. If the weight is not 25 gram, it means that particular seeds, they are of poor quality. It does not have to do anything with the yield can be similar only. If there were two plants and both plants, they had you can say 1000 seed, both plants, they produce 1000 seeds. It's just a random example for you to give. Don't go on technicality that how many seeds can be produced and all. That is for general way of for let you understand. Okay, so there are 1000 seeds. Now the weight both produce 1000 seeds, but when measured, the weight of this was just 20 gram, while other was 25 gram only. So it means what? It means that this particular plant, it produced seed of better quality, and the first plant, it did not produce the seeds of better quality, and that is why the rate of this particular section, or the crops which does not go for the optimum test weight that is required, they are usually sold at the lesser rate. Okay, so I hope this concept is clear. If not, do let me know in the comment section about this test weight. And now we'll here are the test weight of different crops or some common crops are given. For example, for basmati rice, it is 21 gram, and then for wheat it is 40 gram, for barley it is 25 gram, and for pearl millet is 5 to 7 gram. Okay, yeah. So let's move to question number 2, and it says the process of removal of soil constituents in suspension or solution by percolating water from upper to layer of soil is known as. So basically in soil we have different in soil profile we have different sections. If this is the soil profile, we have different sections, and each there are various terms that are related to them, and one of them is what has been asked in the question, and the different terms, they have been wrote down. Okay, yeah. So for now, as again, because this is a revision series, we'll focus just on the questions we are doing, and not something from some topics that are from outside. Please do understand this. So the answer to this is option number 1, that is alluviation. Okay, so these are the different terms. We'll look at them. If I'll go for simple terms, as I said before, there are different layers of soil that are present. From if whatever constituent, for example clay or different mineral oxides or humus or salts, if they move from upper surface to lower surface, so this movement, or you can say if this particular salts and whatever we are talking about constituents, if they move from one surface to another, we can say that they have been removed from the upper surface, right? So this removal of the constituent from upper surface to lower surface is termed as what? Is termed as alluviation. Okay, so this term is known as alluviation. And how is it done? By the percolating water from upper to lower surface. We know that we provide water to the soil for the consumption by the crops, right? So what happens, along with this water, whatever salts is present in it or oxides, they get dissolved with water and they percolate down along with the water. So this removal of constituent from the upper part to the lower part is known as, or this process, it is known as what? This process is known as what? Alluviation. Next is illuviation. Now from one surface to another, from this surface to this surface, constituent, they move down. In another words, I can say that this particular section, it received the constituents. Okay, so this receiving of constituent or the process of deposition, okay, from upper surface to lower surface is known as what? It is known as illuviation. So you can say in normal language that alluviation is what? Alluviation is the removal or outside. Alluviation means moving out. Illuviation means coming in that portion. It is known as illuviation. Next term is humification. Humification is nothing but the process of formation of humic substance. Whatever dead and decay plant, when they die, they transform into humus. The term we use is humus. That is, they are half degraded plants. And this process of degradation of plant is known as what? Humification. And it finally it is called mineralization. Why so? Because they ultimately they'll break down into finer to minerals. That is the basic portion of the degradation of any organic substance. Okay, so that is why mineralization term has been used here. And then horizonation, it is nothing but the differentiation of soil in different, as I have said, there are different sections of soil. So this is so these are known as horizons. So the process of this differentiation is known as what? It is known as horizonation. I hope this topic is clear to you all. Okay. Now next let's come to question number 3, which says, based on the following conditions, recommend best irrigation method to be adopted. So you are given a condition and you have to make a suitable irrigation plan for this particular type. So answer it. Okay. So the correct answer to this is option number 4, that is the drip irrigation. And this is how drip irrigation looks like. See, I know we have done drip irrigation in one way or another, but these modern techniques, they can be important from exam point of view, because these are necessary for the modern ways of farming. Okay, so this is a drip irrigation. So in this this technique, it has been adopted from Israel. Okay. And in this, usually what happens, this is done where there is water scarcity, means there is deficiency of water, there is water not available there, and soil depth is restricted, labor is expensive, means every negative situation for agriculture is present there. So in this system, what usually happens, water is provided to the plants drip by drip, by drop, and in this way the water, it is constrained to the root area, root zone. So it is easier for the roots to absorb water or to intake water from that, because in other conditions where usually what happens, when you provide water to the field, water, whatever most of the water, it percolates down, it infiltrates due to the effect of gravity, and lesser amount is left for the root zones. But that is fine when we have abundant water present right in that particular place. But if it is not, if there is scarcity of water, we have to go for much sustainable method. And do note down that this method is also known as trickle irrigation. So do not get confused if the question asked was trickle irrigation and not drip irrigation. And so this is the slow application of water drop by drop to root zone of a crop. And why is it economical? It helps for two things. First of all, it avoids deep percolation, that is we have to avoid, and because if water would go deep down, it won't be available for the root zone to absorb. And second is surface irrigation is also surface evaporation is also minimized, because the water, if it was exposed to the sunlight, it would have been evaporated. But in this particular method, where we're just providing water from the drop, so this particular surface evaporation, it is also avoided. Okay. Yeah. So the next question, it says ICAR, National Rice Research Institute, is situated at. Okay. So as I say in every lecture, that a question has always been come from this particular topic, always a certain institute have been asked that where is it. So you have to guess where is it. Okay. Yeah. So the correct answer to this is option number 1, that is Cuttack. Cuttack is in where? Comment down in the section below that where is Cuttack. Okay, so this National Rice Research Institute, as discussed, as the name itself suggests, that it does research on rice to make better methods or farming techniques, so that in a better way they can be sown, and they could be more efficient, they give us more productivity, right. Their biofortified rice bean are produced, they are subjected to different experiments, so that we get the best variety for the current situation, right. So Aarti says Odisha, that Cuttack is in Odisha. Pooja says Odisha, and we have Satish, Anshu, Nilesh, everybody says Odisha. Vishwanath says it's in his city. That's good. Okay, so yes, Cuttack, it is in Odisha, that you should know. Okay, now we'll go to question number 5, which says biogas is a clean and efficient fuel. Biogas contain dash methane, which is inflammable. Inflammable means which can catch fire. Okay, so biogas, it is a clean fuel and it contains how much methane? It contains up to 55 to 60% methane. Okay, so yeah, so about this, basically what happens, biogas, as the name suggests, bio means it is made up of something organic. So it is made from cattle dung. Whatever waste the cattle produce, it is made from that. Apart from that, it is also made from human excreta and other organic matter. We have a biogas plant. In biogas plant, whatever biodegradable things we find, especially the excreta, we collect them there, and then we do what? Basically, we provide them a conducive environment for proper degradation, so that what happens, so in this particular process, what happened, the gas, it is also released. Various gases are released, in which methane is also one of them. And this particular process in which the gas is released, which is important for our purpose, this process is known as digestion. And at this, we have 55 to 60% methane, which is inflammable, means we can use them for cooking purpose. We use them for cooking purpose. And it also have 30 to 35% carbon dioxide, means this is also released from the biodegradable portion that we have kept in the biogas plant for degradation and or decomposition. And other than some traces of nitrogen, hydrogen and water are also present in that particular biogas plant. And bioslurry, which is byproduct, that is E is not there, that is byproduct, has manurial value more than farmyard manure. Manurial means manure. Okay, so these can be used as organic fertilizer. Okay, a natural manure is, you can say, natural fertilizer. Fertilizer is basically used when we use chemicals to treat the nutrient quality of a soil, but manures are, yes, you can say, that are organic in nature, and they are more efficient than farmyard manure. Farmyard manure is whatever waste is produced. It could be dead leaves or anything like that. They are decomposed to act as a manure, to use as a manure. But this particular manure, that is bioslurry, whatever thing is left behind after we have used the gas, whatever is left behind in that plant, it can be used as a good manure. Okay, so yeah, next question says, after how many days of planting, first earthing up in potato should be done? So first of all, we need to understand what is earthing up before understanding that how many days. That is DAS is basically days after sowing. Okay, do not get confused. And the correct answer to this is option number 2, that is 30 to 35 days. So see, basically what is earthing up? What happens, as we know, potato, they grow under the soil. So what happens when they are growing, after a while they start getting exposed to the sunlight or to the outer environment, but they are not they haven't achieved, or they haven't achieved the maturity yet. Okay, so what will happen, and now if they are exposed to sun, there will be various reaction that would take place, and then it would be not consumable. That is why what we do, we, as you can see in the second picture also, we then cover them. We cover the potatoes. This process of covering the potatoes again when they reach a certain age and start exposing to the outer environment, this particular process is known as earthing up. And there are two earthing up, that is earthing is done. First is done after 30 to 35 days, and second earthing up is done after 60 days. Okay, so what happens, usually we make such mounds of soil around the plant to avoid what? To growing and turning green and poisonous, because you must have seen tomatoes at home that they turn green, right? And those are poisonous, so you should not consume that. And that is why you observe that, because that particular potato, it got exposed to sun, and due to that, so earthing up is done. I hope this particular concept is clear. And we'll go to question number 7, which says origin of Holstein Friesian breed of cattle is. So Holstein Friesian is a exotic breed. Exotic breeds are those breeds which are not indigenous, or which which are not native to our place. They have been brought from the from a foreign land. So those are the exotic breeds, and you have to guess that which of the following is exotic breed of cattle. Okay, so most of the people are saying D, B are also saying, but the correct answer to this is option number 4, that is Netherlands. And this is how Holstein Friesian looks like. Say in India, we generally we brought these 4 exotic breeds in India. Okay, and the origin of every one of them is written with them. You can download the PDF from our Telegram channel to have a quick revision afterward. Okay, so there are different names. Ayrshire, it's from, we have brought it from Scotland. Brown Swiss is from Switzerland, and then Jersey, it is from island of Jersey. Okay, now let's come to question number 8, that is dropsy is a disease in ornamental fishes in which swollen abdomen and erected scales are observed. It is caused by. So basically what happens, fishes are also cultivated in agriculture, right? So when you cultivate it, even fishes, they have certain diseases that we need to tackle. So one of it, what are ornamental fishes? Ornamental fishes are those fishes which are of showpiece, as you can see in aquarium, goldfish and fishes like that. They are called ornamental fishes, means they are just for display purpose. So dropsy is a kind of disease that is observed in them, and you have to guess that which of the following is that, which is the causal organism. Okay, Shreya, it can be both, I don't know, because that is why it is it was a very important series, because we are covering 200 questions. So there are chances that sometimes you know the answer and sometimes you don't. So do not disheartened. It's good that you didn't know these questions, and you will know from today. Yeah. So the correct answer to this is option number 1, that is bacteria. So see what happened, more than a disease, dropsy is a kind of symptoms that is shown by the ornamental fishes. In dropsy what happens, build up of fluid inside the body cavity. I'll show you. Okay, this so basically what happened, the fluid, it is built up inside the body of a fish. This particular condition is known as what? It is known as dropsy. Okay. As a symptom rather than disease, in this what happens, as you can see, fluid it is stored in, and it includes bacterial infection, parasitic infection, or liver dysfunction. So various disease, bacterial, due to bacterial infection this could happen. Parasitic, in case of parasitic infection it can also happen. What is parasitic infection? A particular organism, when it lives inside your body, it is known as parasitic infection. And in this, liver dysfunction means liver stops working. Okay, yeah. Now we'll come to next question, which says a mixed forest is composed of 2 or more species with at least canopy of a single species to be more than, and you have to guess the answer of this. Come on, do fast. Yeah. So the correct answer to this is option number 3, that is 20. Yeah. So what happens in this particular, yeah, there are 2 categories. There are different categories according to what kind of species, how many species are present in a particular forest. So here what happens, there are 2 categories that we have to look at. One is the pure forest, one is the mixed forest. What happens in pure forest, only one species, this SPS is species, so only pure itself suggests that it is pure in nature. So only one species and its composition is not less than 80%. Okay, its composition means that particular species, it would acquire at least 80% of that particular area. So when a certain condition arises, it is known as that it is a pure forest. And what is mixed forest? When we can observe more than one species, two or more species exist in that particular forest with at least canopy of species more than 20%, means at least those species, it would acquire the area of more than 20%. I hope this is clear to you all. Okay, yeah. So now let's come to question number 10, which says retting and stripping are essential operations followed in. So this is cultivation practices that is followed in one of the following examples, and you have to guess that these operations are performed in which kind of plant. Okay, yeah, so most people say jute, and the correct answer to this is option number 4, that is jute only. Okay, and I'll show you what are these. Okay, so this first process is retting and this second process is strip. This is after stripping or in the verge of that. Basically what happens, these are the two processes that is followed in jute. You must have observed jute bags, but jute, it is a plant. As it is a plant, so it would be hardy in nature. It won't be as soft as those bags are. So these two processes are done. After that, the strips, the fiber, they become soft enough to be made whatever we want to do with it. Okay, so this first process is known as retting, and in this usually what happens, these plants or the jute stems or stalks, they are soaked in water, as you can see in the first picture. Okay, so they are soaked in water at least 60 centimeter to 100 centimeter in depth, and these stalk for how many days? For at least 8 to 30 days, so that they can loosen up, so that the bark, it can loosen up and it can separate out easily from the stick or wood. Okay, and then there are two types of retting done. One is stem, and second is ribbon. So you don't it won't be this is not much important than knowing that retting, it is done in jute. All right, and then comes the term that is stripping. And in stripping, what is done, once the stalk, they become soft, smooth, softer in nature, as you can now look at the second picture. Now it is easier to remove every fiber from it. So the process of removing every fiber from that particular stalk after retting is known as what? It is known as stripping. So this stripping, in this usually what happens, the particular stalk, it is moved to and fro, and so that it can dissociate from one another. So basically this what happens. So we breaking is done, and to and fro movement is done in water, washing the stalks first by standing deep, waist deep water, and then stripping afterwards. So then it is stripped. Now we'll come to question number 11, which asks NABARD was founded in the year. So as I said, all these institutes and organizations, they can be asked in exam, because every year it is asked. The reason why I added this particular question, because we are preparing for it, so it would be good to know your knowledge about this particular organization. Okay, so Viral says 1982, Arpita says 1982. Cool. Most of the people know and they are writing it down. That's very good that you know about the organization you are preparing for. Okay, so the full form of NABARD is National Bank for Agriculture and Development, Rural Development, and it is apex regulatory body for whatever regulation and licensing of regional rural banks is done. Whatever rural banks there are made for to help the farmers, to help the villagers, not only the prominently farmers, because they are who live in villages and work in agriculture. But yes, all the people they who live in rural areas, to benefit them, to look after them, this particular NABARD it works. Okay, and it was founded in on 12th July 1982. Its headquarters, they are located in Mumbai, and this particular bank, it was made after the recommendation of Sivaraman committee. Always one committee is formed first to do research about the fact, and then to give suggestions that what kind of organization can be made and how to improve the conditions. So this particular Srinivasan committee, they suggested it. All right. So the answer of NABARD was founded in year was option number 1, that is 1982. Now next is Brown Revolution is related to. See, 2020 was the first time when this kind of question came in exam. The question was asked about Blue Revolution. Now one more, so we can say that this can also be important. They can ask again. So hence this question, and you have to guess that Brown Revolution is related to what. Yeah. So the correct answer to this is option number 5, that is cocoa. Okay, so there are different revolutions. Revolutions are basically when you focus on a particular type of crop to increase its yield, to develop various methods so that we become independent. Right. So this Brown Revolution, it is related to cocoa, and here some other revolutions have also been given. For example, see here in oilseed, it is known as Yellow Revolution. For fruit, we say Golden Revolution. And mango, there is no specific for mango, but for vegetable also we say golden. So do not get confused if you study somewhere that vegetable or horticulture crops, they belong to golden, because as I guess here is also mentioned. Yeah, see, the fruit, honey production, horticulture, all are known as Golden Revolution only. Jute production, which we studied in a previous question also, it is what? It is known as Golden Fiber Revolution. So do not get confused between Golden Revolution and Golden Fiber. For leather also we use Brown Revolution. For cocoa also we use Brown Revolution. Non-conventional product also we use Brown Revolution. For fish production it is blue. For petroleum products it is black. Okay. So question number 13, it is Giffen Goods are. This question belongs to your agricultural economics. Well, it is a basic economic term, but yeah, it is also part of agricultural economic. So the correct answer to this is, guess fast. Yeah, so correct answer to this is option number 2, that is inferior goods. So basically, what are Giffen Goods? These are non-luxury products. See, what happens if I'll say in general terms, whenever the price of a particular commodity or goods, if we'll go for a simple term, if a price of a good it increase, its consumption decreases, right? That is the normal general norm that we follow. What happens in this case in Giffen Goods, they are non-luxury. Non-luxury means they are quite, they're not expensive, or they're not they do not define your status. I'll explain in terms of agriculture. For example, rice, it is not something that only rich people consume, right? Anybody can consume, so it is a non-luxury product. But what would happen in case of Giffen Goods? If the price would increase, the demand would also increase. For example, imagine if war exists. Now this potato, now this rice, wheat, who are generally non-luxury goods, their price would increase. That is a obvious, right? That during war the price of everything would increase. There would be scarcity of price also, of that object also. So the price increases, but with that our demand would also increase. Why? The main reason due to this is because there is no substitute to it. Rice do not have any substitute. You cannot say wheat is the substitute of rice. from wheat you can make bread, you can make chapatis whatsoever, but it can never substitute the need of rice, right? So Giffen Goods, I'll repeat again, Giffen Goods are non-luxury products, in which case what happens, when their price increases, their consumption also increases, their demand also increases, it would not go down. And this is why, because they do not have any substitutes, they do not have any alternative, that yes, if this has become expensive, so I can consume something else. So it is not like that. Okay, so this is Giffen Goods. All right, so this is about Giffen Goods. I hope this particular topic is clear. Next is question number 14, which says rice, tobacco and cotton are examples of, and you have to guess the following from the following options. Naman, you what you can do, you can mail us for this, or you can, because right now I cannot say any specific book for now, because there every year there's new edition of anything. So yeah, you can mail us and we can find the best that is suitable according to how much you want to learn. Do you want to have that whole concept knowledge, or you just want to go with the points and everything, right? So yeah, so the answer to this is option number 1, that is short day plants. So depending on how much daylight the plants need, they have been categorized into short day, long day and day neutral plants. So the short day plants, they need the day length of less than 12 hours. So these are the type of plants, that is hence the name short day plants, because they require lesser sunlight. So they need this length less than 12 hours, and those are rice, tobacco and cotton, the examples. Then long day plants, they need a day length more than 12 hours, and examples are barley, oat, carrot, cabbage. And day neutral means they are not affected by the plant, their growth, it is not affected by it. Okay, next is the examples are tomato and maize. So let's go to next question, which says the rotational intensity of following 1 year crop rotation in maize, potato, onion is. So what happens, sometimes numerical can come. This is not exactly a numerical, but yes, some in, you can say, where a particular calculation is required, it can come. So you have to guess the answer. Yeah, so the correct answer to this is option number 4, that is 300%. Now what is it? Let's look at it. So what is rotational intensity? If we'll go for rotational intensity, it is calculated by counting the number of crops grown in a rotation. So here how many crops were grown? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 crops are grown, and is multiplied by 100. You have to multiply by that 100. That is the formula, that how many crops are grown. So here 1, 2, 3, 3 crops have been mentioned in the question. So 3 crops, and then divided by the duration of rotation. So here in question itself it is said 1 year crop rotation. So it is mentioned in the question only that 1 year rotation. So that is divided by 1. So how much now it becomes? It becomes 300%. Do you get it? So what is the formula of rotational intensity? The formula is counting the number of crops, that is given here. The number of crops were 3. So we'll write 3 above. Then we have to multiply by what? We have to multiply by 100. And what is said? Then divide by duration of the rotation. So here in question itself was said 1 year crop rotation. So in question it was said, so I divided it by 1. So my answer, it came 300%. Is this concept clear to you all? Okay, right, Shreya says she is getting it. Okay, so now we'll go to next question, as you do not have any doubt regarding this. So next question says Pusa Beta Kesari 1 is a pure line variety of dash developed by IARI, which contains high beta carotene, released and notified in 2015 for NCR region of Delhi. So basically you do not have to go for much. You have just you should just know what is this variety, to which crop this variety belongs to, which contains high beta carotene. It has high beta carotene, and this particular crop, it was notified, means it was released in 2015 for the NCR region of Delhi, because not every variety can grow anywhere, because when we modify a variety, we modify it according to a particular place, because in India different type of climate exists, and you just cannot grow one variety somewhere else. And this particular variety, it belongs to option number 5, that is cauliflower. Okay. If the time it is not to 1 year, it is 6 months, as Sunny asked, till we'll consider it one only. Whatever duration, say, and if, see, for example, it is 7 months, 8 months, 6 months, we'll consider it one only. If it is 1 year 8 months, 1 year 9 months, we'll consider as two only. So that will then we'll go for round off. That is the general rotational intensity we do, until unless it is specified. Until then we'll go for the round off method only. So this is the cauliflower. And what, so it is a very as the question already explained this, that it is a variety of cauliflower. It is beta carotene, and it was released in 2015 for Delhi NCR region. Its average curd yield is, what is a curd? Curd is not that dahi. Okay, here the curd is the cauliflower. See, it has that white flour portion, no, that is known as curd. So it curd yield is 40 to 50 ton per hectare. So this biofortified variety has been developed by ICAR, IARI, New Delhi. Next, question number 17. It says, in multi-storied cropping, the principle of dash is used. You have 5 options and you have to guess one. Yeah. So the correct answer to this is option number 4, that is 1 and 2 both. So what is, first of all, before understanding what are the principle of multi-storied, let's just have an idea what is multi-storied. As you must have heard of multi-storied buildings. Multi means of different height basically. So here in multi-story cropping, what we do, we grow different crops of having different height, so they do not have to compete with each other for the basic nutrients or basic needs that they have. Okay, as you can see here, one is of this height, then one here it is of this height, then you can observe tree back in there, right? So they are of different heights and they are sown together, and this particular concept, it is known as what? It is known as multi-storied cropping. Okay, so here is the explanation, and the answer, as already said, it was 1 and 2 both. Okay, and what happens in this complementary interaction, there are 2 things, that is spatial anidation and then is temporal anidation. Anidation in space, anidation in time. In simple word, it just means that, see, as all those plants, they are of different height, so if their shoot is of different height, of course their depth of the root would also be different. So as these roots, they are present at different heights beneath at different levels beneath the soil surface, and the shoot portion, it is of different height, they do not have to compete for space, right? If there is a bushy plant, okay, if there is a bush, this is a okay, if this is a bush, and if you have grown some plant of similar height, then they would have to compete for space, right? But if we have grown what? We have grown another plant that is kind of slightly heighted from the bush. Now this would not affect its growth, this would not affect this growth, and there would be a proper utilization of space, right? Now what is anidation in time? It means because every crop, they have their different life cycle. So when you do multi-storied cropping, the life cycle of one plant or one crop, it is not affected by the growth of the other plant. Okay, so this happens. So what is this? So in this way, what is annexation of time means they do not have to compete for time also. These are complementary means benefiting each other. So they have different habits because they grow at different time, their harvesting time would be different, their critical stages would be different, right? Critical means the necessary stages where you have to provide irrigation, you have to provide care, everything would be different, and that is why our option number 4, that is 1 and 2, both 1 and 2 were the correct answer. Okay, I hope you get this. Now we'll go to next question, and the next question says which of the following is not an advantage of specialized farming system, and you have to guess the answers, the correct answer to this. Okay, I don't know if there's problem with the chat because I cannot look at the answers. If everything is fine, do give a thumbs up because I cannot see the comments. Yeah, until then I'll do what? I'll just read out the options. So if everything is fine, do let me know. So option number 1 first says better use of land. Option number 2 says less equipment and labor. Third says increased efficiency of labors. Fourth says easy maintenance of farm records, and fifth says income once or twice a year. Alright, so yeah, Arti says everything is fine. Okay, yeah, now I am able to see your comments. Before that I wasn't able to see. So okay, so yeah, alright, so everything is fine now. So let's come to the answer, and the answer, it is option number 5, that is income once or twice a year. So basically, what is a specialized farming? Specialized farming system is the system in which we grow only one type of crop, or only one type of farming we do, and hence the name specialized. We are specialized in a particular thing. Okay, so there are various benefits of it which will look after, and there is one, this income once or twice a year is not a benefit. Will look how. So advantages of specialized farming is better use of land, because only one type of thing is growing. So what we can do according to the particular place which is best suitable for a particular type of crop, we can grow there. For example, we can grow jute on the swampy land in West Bengal, right? So we can utilize the land better. Apart from that, better marketing, because everything grown is only one type of crop. So it allows grading, processing, storing, transport, finance, everything becomes you can say cheaper, and the marketing is can be done better because we have abundant crop present. We can process them at one go. For seed processing to what is seed processing, you can look at the 5-minute video series of mine which I have explained what is a seed processing and what are different methods. And you can store every crop at same temperature also, because these storing also, they require storing of different crops require different temperature. So because everything is every crop is same, we can store in them easily. We do not have to look for storage places, different storage places. We can transport them at one go, and we can also financing of the produce can also be done easily. Then less equipment and labor, because what happened, if there were different crops that have been grown, a lot of labor were required for different stages of their harvesting or whatever intercultural operation is required. Because now everything is at once, everything that is every crop is same, so labor he can do whatever task, intercultural task he has to do at one go. It is costly and efficient machinery can be kept, because we are growing only one type of crop. So the farmer can invest in the costly machines, because if he is growing 2 or 3 crops, so he would think that he is getting only this much revenue from that particular farming system, so why should he invest more on that? But now, because he is doing the same farming, he can invest on that costly machine, which would help them time and again. Then the efficiency and skill of the labor increase, because they are doing same operations time and again. So what would happen, they would become skilled after a while, and they would take lesser time to do the particular task. Then farm records can be maintained easily because every stage of the life cycle of the plant, it would be same for all. Intensity of production would be more because we can do whatever experiment, whatever input we want to give in the whole field, in the whole area, because of the specialized farming system. And then better management could also be there because whatever wastage or whatever problem would be there, it would be same for all, so there would be a better mechanism. But the question which the question said, that was the income once or twice a year, because they would have only one harvesting time, it could be like we can get revenue after 2 months. Why is it is not a advantage? Because if we do business, we want continuous revenue, right? We would want that we'll get money every month or every second month if it is coming in bulk. But because we get once or twice a year, so we cannot consider it as advantage of specialized farming system. All right, so let's go to question number 19, which says, in broad bed and furrow system, preparation of a broad bed is of 90 centimeter and furrow of dash centimeter. So this is a kind of system that we use for, you can say, for having the efficiency of water storage, so that we can save water, we can conserve water, and also not to harm the environment. Yeah, so Priya says C, Arpita says 45, Viral says 45, Nilesh, D, Ritika. Okay, so the correct answer to this option is option number 4, that is 45. So this is what a particular basic system of broad bed and furrow. See, mostly this system is mostly done in clay soils. Usually what happens, see, as imagine this plant in there. Okay, now what would happen if had this particular field has been flat, as normally a field is, what would happen? You'll provide irrigation there, and then water, it would be standing on the upper surface only. Why? Because the clay, it is the nature of clay that they are compact in nature, so the percolation of water, it is not easy. Now because the water would remain here only, or it would percolate very slowly, the roots of the plant can get affected, because more water, consumption of more water is also harmful for the plants. Okay, so what would happen to avoid that? Such furrows are made. So so here plant would be here, and then what would happen? Furrows would be made so that the water, due to the effect of gravity, they would move down and be collected here. Then they can take whatever time they want to take to percolate down, and of course the water, it would spread to the adjacent sides also, and then the roots, they can take up water from there. So this is an efficient way to conserve water also. Or another thing could happen, one thing that is sure, that plant could get affected, and the other thing is what? The other thing is the water can move outside of the field in the form of surface runoff. So to avoid these two things, to protect our plants and to conserve water also, this particular broad bed and furrow system is made, where this particular distance, it is 90 centimeter, as you can see, and the depth of the furrow, it is what? It is 45 centimeter. Okay, I hope this particular thing is clear to you all. We'll come to last question of our mega revision series of ARD static for NABARD Grade A 2021. It says, which of the following crop can be grown in an acidic environment? So pH, you must have heard, pH tells you how acidic, basic or neutral a particular soil is in terms of agriculture, if I say. So 7 is the neutral quantity, that the particular soil is neutral in nature. Then below 7 is the acidic category, and above 7 is the basic category or alkaline category. And you have to guess, everybody is saying all. I guess the preparation is really good, because the answer is option number 5, that is all of the above. So here's a particular table given here. You can find it on the PDF also, which I'll provide in the Telegram channel. So here the different the optimum pH range of different cereals or crops have been given. Here which I had taken were from these only. We had tea. What else did we have? We had rice, millet, oat. Okay, so rice we can see as 4 to 6, so it is acidic in nature. Oats is also somewhat slight acidic, it comes, right? Then we had what? We had millet. Millet, as you can see, it is slightly acidic in nature, right? And for tea also, the nature is acidic only. So this is the optimum pH range. It does not mean if you will cultivate these crops slightly above or lower, it is not like there should be a larger difference, but slightly more and more or less it can grow. But yes, this is the best suited pH for the particular crops to grow. Okay, so yeah, so that is all for today. We'll soon come up with our mega revision series. We'll soon come up with a marathon series. This was a mega revision series. So stay tuned with us, and that is why do subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that you'll get notification when the marathon series is getting started. Until then, all the very best for your examination. This was the last lecture of the mega revision series for ARD static, in which we have covered 200 questions. All are important from examination point of view. We have covered all the important topics, and we'll meet soon. Until then, thank you and all the best for your preparation.